Hello, my name is Miranda Wise, and I'm the writer and producer of the story that you are about to watch. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed writing it. And take care. I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye. Chapter 18, Osteena. Suella could sometimes be sickening. She sat at the table, bragging about having landed an interview with Nehemiah. He had left for Seattle for a few days, and I missed him. Although I didn't know him that well, I was really starting to like him. And I believe the feeling was mutual. But he was tough to get through with. He is a very mysterious man indeed. Suella continued. We all had gathered in Vonnie's kitchen. I'm sure you were very intrigued by that, Suella. Cindy said sarcastically, and this was the first time. I was thankful for her snarky attitude. Most times, though, Cindy was too hard on people, I felt. You sounded like you jealous, Cindy. I'm just doing my job. Suella shot back. Well, if hoeing is your thing, I can't blame you. I don't know who you think you talking to, Cindy. Suella bellowed as she shot up from her seat, but Bonnie stood in the middle. Hey, y'all. Y'all can go outside, but it's not in my house. Not in my Yeah, house. We can go outside. So come on outside, Cindy, so I can show you what a hoe can do. Suella offered Cindy up, but Cindy remained sitting. The two of them never got along, and it seemed it intensified after Nehemiah moved in the neighborhood. But he didn't belong to either of them. They were fighting over something that wasn't even theirs. I had to execute my plan in that regard. I was tired of being alone. You know what? I'm leaving. I will talk to you later, Vonnie. Now, Cindy, did you have to come off at her like that? She's always bragging about something, Vonnie. She's always boasting. Is that what you're really mad about? Come on, Cindy. Vonnie was grilling her like she knew something about Cindy that I didn't know. She's just annoying. I wanted to know why Cindy disliked Suella so much. Vonnie got up, poured another cup of coffee. It was now early June. The kids were out of school. My children were with their dad until after July 4th, and that would give me time to focus on myself. I couldn't help but to keep sneaking glances outside where Nehemiah's house was. I was sitting facing his house. Bonnie was sitting directly in front of me, and Cindy was sitting to my right. I knew he wouldn't be back until Friday night, but my anticipation was killing me. An hour later, Cindy and I went home. She had gotten a call from Craig stating he was on his way to bring Anita home. I headed to the house. Without the boys around, it was quiet. I sat in my room going through my phone. All of a sudden, headlights from a car lit up the night. I only had a soft lamp on in my bedroom, and it didn't light up the room much. I got up, peeked through the blinds, and spotted Nehemiah's car pulling into the driveway. I thought he wouldn't be home yet. I hurried downstairs and out the front door and caught him before he could get into the house. Hey, I called. He turned around, headed towards me. He hadn't even taken his luggage from the trunk. Now, what are you doing up this late, girl? It's almost 11. And what are you doing trying to sneak back in before anyone knows? He wore a big grin. We met at the end of my driveway. You were just going to go into the house without taking your luggage in? He looked slightly puzzled at me. My luggage? Yeah. Your luggage.
Oh, I'm fine.
He said with a wave. So how was your trip?
It was fine.
He said, I understood why Suella said she had a hard time interviewing him. He wasn't big on words. So, would you like to come in for a drink? To my surprise, he said,
Sure. Why not? I hope you have your air conditioner on.
oh, yes, I do. I led him to the dining room and poured us both a glass of wine. He wasn't staring at me, but he had an intense look in his eyes.
Where are your boys?
They're with their father. I thought I told you that.
Oh, yeah. You did tell me that.
Nehemiah seemed to be a little forgetful. Either that or he didn't listen well. He took a sip from his glass. He spotted a photo of me when I was in high school that was placed inside the china cabinet.
Is that you?
I smiled bashfully. Yeah, can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell. You haven't changed that much.
I got up and told him to follow me to the living room, and I showed him more photos. This is my sister and I when we were in high school, and this is me in third grade. These are my parents.
You were a cute kid.
I could feel his heat as he stood behind me. Then I felt his hands on my shoulders. I leaned my head back until it rested in his broad chest. He ran his large hands up and down my arms as if he was trying to warm me up. His touch was sending surges of heat through my body. I couldn't believe this man had finally made it into my house. Should I let the others know? I was getting the impression that Cindy and Suella were interested, but he apparently chose which one of us he wanted, me. I felt little kisses on my neck, causing me to moan. I turned to him, and our lips locked. Kathy Kent's song played in the background, and the next thing I knew, we were in my bedroom.
Just one song. Oh, just one song reminds me. It's something that reminds me of you. I play it when I'm loaded down with thoughts of deep despair. When it seems that no one cares. It brings me decent memories. All the greatest times together. Imagining your face got me feeling so jaded. Just one song reminds me of you. Takes me out of feeling blue. It does it every time. The memories are mine.
I woke up around 2 a.m. Nehemiah's strong arms were around me as my back was to him. I could feel his warm breath on my neck. He didn't leave right after making love, and that made me feel secure. I closed my eyes again, hoping the morning never came, and I could stay here in his arms forever. Chapter 19, Cindy. I had to send Craig home once I headed outside and realized Nehemiah was home. Besides, Anita was upstairs. I couldn't keep setting a bad example for her. She knew what was going on with us when we thought she was sleeping. I had gone out to my car to get my phone charger and could see his car in the driveway. That's when I went inside and bid Craig good night.
I thought you wanted me to spend the night.
I never said that, Craig.
Yes, you did.
Of course, I changed my mind. I didn't know Nehemiah would be home so soon. He had told Vonnie he was going away and asked if she could pick up his newspapers for him. Now that I knew he was home, Craig was going home. Craig, I don't remember telling you that.
I don't know why I'm such a fool for you, Cindy.
Is that my problem? I hated it when he stared at me with them big sad eyes. It made me feel a little sorry for him. But that feeling did not overpower the feeling I had for that man down the street.
Okay, fine then.
He grabbed his keys and headed out. I waited 10 minutes before I slipped out and walked up the street. There were no lights on in the house, and I wondered if he would be sleeping. If he was, I would apologize for waking him. But I was going to see him tonight. Suella didn't have anything on me when it came to getting a man, while she used sneaky tactics like interviewing him as her way. I used a straightforward method. I rang the bell. No answer. I rang again. Still no answer. I did not give up until after the fourth ring. Disappointment set in as I made my way back to the house. Maybe I should have let Craig stay the night. Chapter 20, Nehemiah.
I was not pleased with the article Suella had written about me. First, I never told her I had a son and a daughter. I simply said yes when she asked if I had any children. Even when she tried to probe, I had politely asked her to move on. The other thing I was not pleased with was her stating my wife died in a car accident. Although that was true, I never told her that. When she probed, I simply told her I was not ready to publicize why she died. She must have gotten that information from somewhere else. The town I used to live in had knowledge of that. That told me that she went behind my back and gathered information about me that I did not authorize her to print. I hated when women investigated stuff that was none of their business. I would never trust her again. I picked up the phone and called her. We had exchanged numbers the day I agreed to do the interview. She had called me twice while I was on vacation, but I did not answer. Was this her way of getting back at me for not answering? Well, I was about to put a stop to this nonsense right now.
Hello, Nehemiah. How are you?
What do you call yourself doing, Suella?
What do you mean?
I never told you I had a son and a daughter. I never told you my wife died in an accident. Why would you publish that without my authorization? I ought to sue you.
Oh, wait, Nehemiah. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
What kind of journalist are you? Granting you that interview was a courtesy, you had no right to do that.
But I didn't think that would be a problem, Nehemiah. I
want you to write a full apology in your same paper.
My boss will wonder why I have to do that. Do you understand
that? Sounds like your problem. Write the public apology or I file a lawsuit. I ended the call. I looked at the summit again. I gathered the paper, headed outside, opened my trash receptacle, and stuffed it inside. As I was headed back to the front of my house, I spotted Osteena coming across the street. She looked much happier than I had felt.
Hey, Nehemiah.
Hello.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
You want to talk about it?
I took a deep breath. Not today, okay? With that, I headed into the house, leaving her standing there. I was about sick of women. I had not planned on getting to know anyone on this street. I love my privacy, but the minute I lower my defenses, look at what happens. I closed the door and sat at the dining room table. Then my baby girl called me.
Hi, Daddy. What's wrong?
Nothing, sweetie. Did you get home okay? She lived in an apartment in the next county. Although she had a permanent room at my house, she refused to move back home once she got a taste of her own independence. She would be attending med school in a year.
Okay. Sounds like you were a little annoyed, Daddy.
No, baby, I am not annoyed.
I just wanted you to know I got home okay.
Okay, baby. You need any money?
No, I don't.
Okay, babe. I'll see you soon.
Chapter 21, Bonnie. When I got into my car, it wouldn't start. I kept trying to turn it over, but soon figured my battery was dead. I hit the steering wheel. Sebi had borrowed it the night before. I hopped out, opened my trunk, only to discover my jumper cables were missing. I would have been able to take my son's car, but he had already left for work. Now, I was going to be late and hit all kinds of traffic, which would make me later. Nehemiah's garage door opened, and he pulled out. I waved at him. He must have seen the distress, because he stopped and hopped out.
What's wrong?
My battery is dead. He turned back to his car, hopped in, and pulled into my driveway. He opened both hoods and gave me a jump.
How old is your battery?
4 years.
You might want to think about getting a new battery.
Okay, I said as he closed the hood.
AutoZone is open now. Follow me over there.
Nehemiah, I don't want to put you out. I know you have a lot of patients to see today.
You're not
and
putting
I should
me
not
out.
have to.
If you don't get a new battery installed, you're going to be getting someone to give you a jump again. I'll call the hospital and let them know I'm running late. Come on, follow me.
Something in his voice sounded so commanding, making me feel so protected. But unlike Osteena, I wasn't about to fall into that. I followed him to AutoZone. Once I paid for the battery and the attendant came out to change it, he left. As if that was my last of issues that day. First, Osteena called me when I reached the shop. She was at work, but on her morning break. Vonnie, I know I didn't tell you this, but me and Nehemiah did it. Her statement sounded like a confession. Did what? You know, made love. When, Osteena? 3 nights ago. Oh, and you didn't tell me then? I know I hesitated because I didn't know where this was going at first. I felt a little deflated knowing she'd been with him. Just then, I began rewiring my thinking with regard to him. I would be lying if I said I didn't have a little bit of interest in him. So, where do you think it's going, Osteena? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. That man has a split personality. He was so attentive that night. We spent the whole day together in my house the next day, watching movies and listening to music. And then yesterday... What about yesterday? What about yesterday? I saw him outside, and when I asked if he'd like to come in for lunch, he blew me off totally, as if the other night never happened. Wow. Talk about a 360. Maybe that's all he wanted from me. My heart went out to her when her voice started cracking with emotion. I cried all day. Vonnie, I cried all day long yesterday. Osteena, I'm so sorry. And it seemed like something had made him angry, and he was taking it out on me because I hadn't seen him all day, Vonnie. I felt so bad for her. Of all of us, she'd gotten the worst deal when it came to relationships, and she had such a beautiful heart. Still, her description of his behavior seemed so unlike his character, especially when I saw him this morning. I tried to make her feel better when I said, something might have happened right before that. It may not have anything to do with you. Wait a few ticks and approach him, okay? I would have texted him, but I don't have his phone number. You mean to tell me you did it with a man and don't even have his number? Goodness, Osteena. I guess I didn't think about it because he lives right across the street. Okay, I'll let you get away with that one. But wait until things calm down and approach him. He might have even lost a patient, and that could be bothering him. You never know. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm so busy being selfish. Osteena, you gave up your cookies, girl. Of course you'd be upset. When she laughed, I was happy that she felt much better. But 10 minutes later, my phone rang again, and this time it was Suella. Vonnie, I tried to call you last night. Girl, you ain't gonna believe this. I knew whenever Suella said, you ain't gonna believe this, she had some dramatic story to tell. What happened that I won't believe, Sue? This nigga is trying to sue me because I included the fact that he had a son and a daughter in that article. What? Why? Why would he do that? He claims he never told me that, but he did. But did he give his okay for you to publish that? No, but you see... No buts, Suella. No buts. You dealt with something like this before. You need to be careful, girl. I know, but now he said if I don't publish an apology, he'll sue me. You either do that or deal with legal consequences. There were times when I thought she was out of control. She called herself interviewing him only to stab the man in the back. I knew Suella. She wasn't fooling me. I knew there was more to it than what she was telling me. That can't be all of it, Sue. Okay, I did include the fact that his wife died in a car accident. I knew it, my thoughts bellowed. I just knew it had to be more to it than that. Suella Mack, if that man didn't want that out there, you should have left it alone. Well, I suggest you start drafting your apology. This man has a reputation as being a good doctor. He has an image. I am going to do the apology. I don't have nothing to lose now. My boss has already reprimanded me. Then why even have this conversation with me? You know what you need to do. Because of the way he came off at me. Girl, he cussed me out. You should have heard how he was talking to me. That was the second time that day someone told me Nehemiah went ham on them. Then I realized that his anger must have been because of what Suella did, and maybe Osteena got caught in the crossfire. She tried to talk to him at the wrong time. I decided I would call Osteena and tell her what Suella did, and that would probably make her feel much better. I know he'll never speak to me again, Vonnie. I think I might have blew it. I think you did too, Sue. Besides, he had already gone to bed with Osteena, but I didn't mention that to Suella. There was no need for Suella and Cindy to keep trying to capture his attention. But it wasn't up to me to tell them. That would be totally up to Osteena. They would soon catch the vapors that something went down with them two. Chapter 22, Cindy. One down and one to go. When Osteena called and told me about Suella's article and that Nehemiah had cussed her out, I was ecstatic. I figured by him being the type of man he was, he would not tolerate that. He probably wouldn't ever speak to her again. This was beginning to feel like a game of survival, and I was still in the game. Now, if I could only figure out a way to get Osteena out of the way, I would be set. Bonnie didn't seem to have any interest in him whatsoever, so she was never a real threat, but Osteena was trying to get with him. She didn't know I knew that. I had to laugh out loud. Suella sitting there smugly, telling us all about her opportunity to interview him as if she had one-upped me. I knew she was trying to show me up, but her own explosives had blown up in her face, blew her weave right off her dome. Mom, what's so funny? I didn't even know Anita heard me laughing. I turned around. Nothing, sweetie. Is Dad coming today? No. I was sitting in my den. The window faced the street. I'd been spending more time on that sofa whenever I was home because I could see when Nehemiah's truck bent the corner. Are we going to the mall today? Remember I told you I need a new phone case? Yeah, we'll head out soon. Just give me another few minutes, okay? Okay. She headed back upstairs. The doorbell rang. I looked out. It was Craig. He was holding a dozen roses. I rolled my eyes before opening the door.
Just wanted to drop these off for your special day. It's not every day a girl turns 40.
Thanks. I took the roses and placed them in the vase.
I didn't mean to disturb you. I just wanted to surprise you.
No, you're fine. I appreciate the roses.
I'm really trying, Cindy. I know I haven't been able to keep a job, but I got some news for you.
What? I spun around to face him.
I got hired at Whitlock.
My eyes grew large. Oh, really? He smiled.
I start Monday. It pays $27 an hour. I'll be able to do so much for you and Anita. I'll be able to...
Did you quit smoking weed?
I'm weed free. Have been for a while now.
What will you be doing at Whitlock?
Oversight.
Oh, that's cool. I won't even lie. I was happy for him.
Please, Cindy, marry me. I will try hard to do whatever you need me to do. I'll keep my life straight. I want me and you to finish raising Anita together under one roof.
I was facing the front window. He was facing me. I spotted Nehemiah's truck turning the corner. Why did I let Craig into the house? I could have been able to catch up with Nehemiah. This is why I did not want him around until I could find out if I could make something with my new neighbor. Plus, he was a doctor.
Think about it. And that's why I love you so much and why I'm so in love with you.
I only heard the last part of his statement. My mind had been so focused on Dr. Grant, I couldn't give Craig my full attention. But I wasn't ready to let Craig move on either. It killed me when we broke up and he started going with someone else. Once my relationship with Bertram went bad, I decided to break up Craig's relationship with that other woman. I didn't care either because I knew Craig loved me and not her. He insisted on taking me to dinner and I allowed him. Why not? He'd already ruined my chances of going up to Nehemiah's house anyway. We headed over to Lido's, a place that served delicious Italian food. We sat in the booth. He grabbed my hand. I saw Anita sneak a peek at us and snicker.
I'm going to save up enough money to buy you a nice ring, Cindy.
I faked a smile. He kept holding my hand. The waiter came by, took orders. Craig turned his attention back to me once the waiter left.
So, where were we?
I looked up at him, but something behind him caught my eye. I was shocked. There was Nehemiah entering the restaurant with a woman. He looked right at me and kept walking to their table. He acted like he didn't even know me. I turned around, spotted him sitting a few yards from us. Craig grew curious.
You know them?
I turned back to Craig. No, I don't. I avoided Craig's eyes. I didn't know Dr. Grant had a girlfriend. I couldn't wait to tell Osteena. As soon as Craig went home, I was going to call her. While we ate, I would randomly glance over my shoulder every so often in a casual manner. I guess nobody was surviving on that island after all. But when I gave it further thought, Nehemiah was not married. I could still be in the game if I chose to. I chose to remain in that game. That chick had nothing on me. She was a little chunky and frumpy and plain. I dressed well, took care of myself, and worked out. Wondered what made him choose such a frumpy looking chick. And she was old, probably over 50. I could hear them laughing at some point, making my blood boil. Craig wanted to stay the night once we returned to my house, but I told him I was tired. As soon as he left, I called Osteena. She seemed rather bothered by all of it. And you sure it was him? Osteena. Who else looks that good? He's not looking too good right now. Why? Were you interested in him? Well, not really. But you're right, he is fine. And that he is. She was the type of woman that would not compete, but I was highly competitive. And by the time I was done, Dr. Nehemiah B. Grant would be mine.